want to be free of the rat race. We want to be in control of our own outcomes.
AI will give you generic garbage if you don't give it specifics about what you want.
The image that keeps coming to my head is I'm able to be sitting on a beach with my wife with a mojito.
You could have scammed somebody for $1 million, but we believe that real world builds are your diploma. Hey everybody, I'm Kosta from Everwise. I'm here with Justin, and we're going to walk you through the new B2K system, build to know system. This one is built on how we are actually using AI to learn. Among other ways, this is one way that we're using. So Justin is brand spanking new to it. Justin, have you ever used this before?
Never used this one before.
Amazing. So we're going to walk Justin through, and we're going to be super real. If there's any snags that we get, we'll film it as well, and we'll walk you through it. So we're good to go. Now, we have opened up the Claude app. We're in a Claude Code session, and Justin has selected the folder that he's going to be working in. Really, what that does, Justin and everybody watching, is it uses all the files in that folder as references. All of those file folders in Markdown or any reference files that they have, it's wrapped around now the AI brain that is Claude. And it's all used for context. So I put a little bit of structure in there, but the one thing that I would say is the more that you use it, the more that Justin uses this on a daily basis, the more context it will build on him and what he's learning and what he's doing, what he's building, what he's learned. And it will get better and better with the more context. We've heard that a million times with AI. So Justin, you're just going to say start in there because you're just starting out. And the brain does matter. So the better the model you're using in the bottom right-hand corner,
Yes,
the better
outputs
it'll give you.
So we're currently in Sonnet 5. That was one of my questions.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make more sense to shift it into an Opus 5?
To me, it does. Yeah, I usually run it on Opus 5. And the reason being, I'm working on my personal development. I can't think of anything more important than that in terms of work that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So one thing it's noticed is we have a brand mission folder with mentor notes. So that's something that we set up ahead of time just to save time for the video. Mm-hmm. But that's something that it would walk you guys through. So just a little bit of background information. Justin chose 2 mentors. I recommend 1 or 2. And wants to use this to learn how to build a brand from scratch. And it researches those mentors and gets information on how they view building a brand. And then it breaks it down into an action plan that Justin can take. Because when you're a beginner and you don't know where to start or you don't know what to do, you really have to take action and start building. And so that we took the liberty of doing that ahead of time here. Justin, do you want to just briefly mention who you picked as your mentors?
Yeah, so we got Daniel Priestley and we got Cody Sanchez. Both are known for their own personal brands. They've got some, Cody Sanchez does have a book that she's got out there. Priestley has a number of free pieces of content that are on his website that you can actually access as well. But both specialize in essentially Instagram and market building in different ways. So we thought that they would be, as we're trying to build our brand and specifically within the lanes of Facebook and Instagram right now, we thought they'd be good mentors for us to build into this.
Very cool. That's very cool. It did find a bunch of YouTube videos as well. So you have the ability to take YouTube videos and pull transcripts, grab any tutorial videos. Following the philosophy that AI does kind of the menial tasks. We had it search their YouTube channels for anything relevant to brand building or systems that they use for building brands. And
Kosta, maybe just a question that people might be asking: why a mentor as well? Why should we have a mentor when we're building these things?
It's a great question. We talk about this a lot. There's so many reasons, but to sum it up, the biggest problem that people have when they're learning on their own, when they're autodidacts, is is structure. And within that bucket, I'd put in consistency. So like structure and consistency, it's something that school provides, but when you're learning on your own, you don't have. And the biggest challenge within that is like where to even start.
Yes.
Where do you start? And the last thing that I would say is, again, this is a really summed up, concise version of what we talk about all the time. AI will give you generic garbage if you don't give it specifics about what you want. What has worked for me in the past is picking mentors that have achieved the thing that I want to achieve, figuring out their system, and then trying it first. As I try it and I become more experienced, I can offshoot on my own and kind of figure things out. But the idea is to pick human beings that have actually navigated this and have a system for it so that AI doesn't give you slop.
Yeah. There's also lots of content that's actually out there. I mean, books have been around for how long? Especially like mentor style books. What allows this system to maybe be a little bit better than if I just buy a Cody Sanchez book and try to follow instruction that she lays out in the book?
These are great questions. Books have been around for forever, and I'm a massive, massive fan of books when learning, just because a person has dedicated their entire life to a craft, become a master, and then gives back to the next generation by writing their life's work really in a book. Now, what happens usually is you'll read a book, and if you're really fascinated or interested in it and you're building a good book, will be a reread multiple times, depending on where you're at, like what level you're at, you know? And the hard part when you're a beginner is wrapping your head around the whole book, where to start, what to do. Kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier. What pumping the book into AI and what AI is really good at, and pumping the whole book into AI to summarize the information, kind of synthesize it into what you want to do and connect the two together to give you an actual action plan.
Good analogy. So what's our next step then?
So for you, you're just starting out and it's noticed that you don't have this. It's talking about a file. It's talking about a me.md, a markdown file. What is that? That's about you, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
So all it's saying in its weird AI computery way
knows
is,
nothing
I don't
about
know
me.
anything about
Who are you?
Yeah, can you introduce yourself?
Right.
That's saying the mission and proof files are still blank. Okay, so it just wants to learn more about you. There's no me.md. It doesn't know what mission you're on. It doesn't know what you want to build as the proof to demonstrate that you have the knowledge. So that's an important thing to talk about as well. We'll talk about it while doing, but we believe that real world builds are your diploma,
Yes.
not a piece of paper that says that you memorized something somebody told you. Is what, with the knowledge you have, what are you actually capable of building in the real world? And you'll notice, see where it says yes in the little text box? Even in Claude Code, it's interesting. If you don't even know what to write next, it'll tell you, like, it'll give you a little
hint.
prompt. You don't have to write that, but it's a little hint. Yeah.
Yeah. What happens if I just
guide you
hit
along.
that one? Nope. No.
If you just hit tab.
Oh, let's do that.
Oh.
Hit tab. Oh, there we go. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. What are you building? And is there a bigger thing behind it?
We are out to showcase the Build to Know system to actively build our Everwise brand. Our proof for this is going to... We want to have 25 organic members in our everwiseschool.com community, each participating actively between 2 to 3 times a week for 4 straight weeks.
Second question. How do you want me to talk to you? Talk dirty to me.
Like my wife.
This is how you like things explained to you. You know how I ramble on sometimes?
Yes, I knew.
You've noticed? Yeah. If you don't want it to, you know, some of the things that I like explanatory and concise. You know, those are two things that I would like when it's talking to me. Yeah, no one can spell anymore.
So true.
Who can spell anymore? I just talk to my computer.
And teach me like I'm 13, 14 years old. Okay.
Beautiful. Go ahead. I highly recommend, by the way, sometimes if I can't understand something, go ahead and hit enter. It's all good. I highly recommend going down grade levels until you understand. I've gone all the way down to grade 3 reading level. Like, nope, dumb it down.
Yep.
Dumb it down.
It's absolutely a great way of learning, man.
Yeah. No ego involved. Just some things I will grasp, some things I won't. And it's really important that you actually walk away with understanding with AI.
Okay.
Absolutely. Sweet. So it's so you've put a proof line in there, which is good. it's talking about the mission here. And a mission is a skill you want. So that's an important distinction there. It's not the project that you're building, it's the skill you got out of it. So I don't want to answer this stuff for you, but you just have to go question by question here. Really think about the skill that you want to walk away with at the end of it. It's just looking for like a one sentence thing. Build a brand is kind of like a generic topic, whereas something more specific, the example that it's giving here is get strangers to join and keep showing up. That's closer to a skill. For me, I know you, and I know that skill is building trust in an ongoing relationship with people. I think that's when you talk about building a brand. I don't want to put words into your mouth, but that's a big part of it for you, just knowing you and listening to you over the years. Yeah, it's great.
Going down to number 2.
And you got 2 here. So why now? What's the real reason? And the why behind something is kind of the spiritual importance, and that's what you want to touch base with when you don't have the motivation that day to continue learning.
We want to be free of the rat race. We want to be in control of our own outcomes.
I don't know about you, but I'm really tired of not being challenged. The amount of people that I can help, that's up to me. I keep coming back this, especially coming from a corporate world where you're capped by other people, their ideas, the infrastructure of the business. I'm tired of being capped. I want to go out there and challenge myself. I want to have an adventure. I want to impact as many people as possible.
Question 3. Where do I start from?
You don't know about Instagram, I'm pretty sure.
Don't know a thing. Or what
Perfect.
done?
And can I mention something there? It's cool about working with AI. There's no pretenses. You're not trying to impress anybody. There's no other person there. It's important to be honest when you're back and forth there. And just the removal of, quote unquote, imposter syndrome when you're dealing with AI it's nice to let the guard down and kind of check that ego at the door. It's something that's beneficial.
That's a really great takeaway that I'm not sure a lot of people really thought about. The underwritten, we try to impress people. We don't want to sound stupid when we're in a conversation with a real person. No problem when you're talking to AI. Don't worry about it.
The amount of times I tell it I'm stupid, tell me, explain this to me like I'm in grade 3.
And the great thing about it too is it's very complimentary. It'll always feed your ego still, telling you, no, you're not. Kosta, you're not stupid. Everyone's on their own learning curve.
Yeah.
So let's say for this one then, there should be a repeatable aspect to this. I should be able to go out and repeat the skills that I've learned to build another brand.
Yeah. So how do you know, if you shut your eyes and you paint a mental image, what does that image look like that knows that you're successful? Is it you looking at your phone on your Instagram account and you have 100,000 followers? Is it, which by the way, I don't think is a good gauge on whether you've built trust with people. Yeah. But it's just an example.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're in that world. What does that world look like? What are the tangible things that you're like, I know how to build a brand now? What's built?
Here's just bear with me on this explanation, but
talk to me.
Brand building is a skill, and it's a sellable skill. It's not just about, I think, bringing people in, but it's a learned piece. Like I stated, I should be able to, one way that I could look at myself and say yes, I have completed this. I know what done looks like, is I should be able to repeat the skill. I should be able to do it for another brand that I actually have or someone else's brand. The image that keeps coming to my head is I'm able to be sitting on a beach with my wife with a mojito or some other cocktail, knowing me, probably more just a beer, somewhere in a world where I've never been, and knowing that it's based off of the skills that I've built. I don't know how to finish that. There would be a tangible aspect to it.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to gently push back there
Oh, I love it.
because, yeah, there's a couple of reasons, but the main one I would say is you could be on the beach with your wife sipping a mojito as the result of many different things. You could have scammed somebody for $1 million. You could have that's to me, that's not a good definition of done. You know, what done looks like in terms of building a brand, it should be in relation to brand building, you know, and a thriving Everwise community that has a rate of people joining more than leaving means that you've built a good brand to me. You know, you've built trust because people are staying. You know, the beach and the mojito, it might be like a personal goal of yours, but it's not reflective of whether you build a brand or not.
I think that's a good takeaway. I do think a lot of people would measure it based off of that tangible, though, right? Whether it's like, you know what, I'm successful because I have a big house, I have the shiny car, I'm able to travel the world to places that I never could have before. To them,
So good. We're unpacking it, and I think you're absolutely right. I think just knowing you, the difference is so being financially successful is what you were saying when you were painting the picture
Yes.
of the beach and the mojito. I happen to know for a fact, though, just getting to know you over the years, making money is a byproduct of earning people's trust.
It is.
Right.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, we're kind of like talking together, we're unpacking it. And when you build trust with somebody and they trust you and they kind of know what you're going to get, they're going to be willing to make a purchase with you.
Yes.
So the money they spend with you is a good proxy for trust. And that's what you're saying. However, I would put a caveat there, and it is important to be specific with AI that is a proxy for trust because we've earned their trust. You know, it's a byproduct of earning their trust. And how do we measure that? It's over the long term. So I think that's really important, because short term you could trick somebody and make money, but that's not going to last long term. People will be onto you and you'll churn. So you're saying I've built this company to the point where I am financially free, and that will be an indicator that I've built enough trust over the.
I want to say like customer. I don't want to say viewer. Thinking of it, being indicator the trust. Maybe just say community. I'm just going to say leave it as community. You're from our community. Okay.
I love that. I love that. It's a much clearer picture. We'll see what it says when you hit enter here. It'll say, I think it's a better picture too of like, you know, I could picture you on the beach with a mojito as a supervillain too, but I don't think that's accurate to what you feel on the inside, you know.
And all I need to do is press the button.
A deeper point too is like, it's funny how I'm discovering more and more. I mentioned this in our last podcast there, how we use AI to learn, is that how much AI is a reflection of you, how much it's a mirror, and the inputs that you give it, the outputs that you get are reflective of the inputs you give it. So imagine you put that in there, like I'm on the beach sipping a mojito. I feel like it could be like a rap video playing in my mind. It could be like, but that's not really you. Like I know that's not you, but AI doesn't know that's not you. You know, so what you put in there really matters.
That's a great point.
It's great working it out too. So like we worked all that out, and now I have this mental image of earning somebody's trust, them giving me money, and not faltering on that relationship, right? Like I want to give them more than what they thought their money was going to get. And I want to do that repeatedly over and over again. I want to be, I don't want to take for granted that I've built that trust to the point where somebody's willing to hand me their hard-earned money, which is their hard work and time, you know. I want to do right by them. And that's like a really, really important distinction. And it's funny how we have to work these things out in detail to get the best outputs out of AI. And it makes you a better person.
Yeah.
With clearer goals.
Okay. So we got your mission in one line: learn to build trust with an audience that does not know you yet. Step 4, the proof. The proof is the one real thing that, if it existed, would prove you learned enough. Not a feeling, not a certificate. We got 4 checks: small, weeks, not months; tangible, someone else can look at it; failable, if you did not learn, it will not work; and then yours, it serves the mission. And it needs a date, which we had talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah. So, I mean, it gets cold here in February. I'd like to be on the beach with mojitos around that time. If that's okay with you.
Even if
I'm
it's
just
only for a week.
joking.
Even if it's only for a week.
All right, let's get serious about this. So small weeks, not months.
Feels like we can probably still stick towards that timeline of an 8-week timeline. We just move our end date to October 23rd, or do we just round it out and say November 1st?
November 1st sounds good. It'll actually give us like roughly a week to get going.
It's actually was suggesting there, right down here, October 31st, 2026. So we'll just say November 1st, November 1, 2026.
So what is the proof? And it's giving us 4 different checks. So like, let's talk about the proof first, and then we can run it through those 4 checks and see if it's worthwhile.
Okay. So our proof is still 25 organic members in our everwiseschool.com community. Each
Question for you.
Yeah.
Since you're particularly going to be focused on Facebook and Instagram, are we talking about, so let's say, for example, we have 25 members by November 1st, but they all came from the school community, people finding us on the discovery page, or they came from our YouTube channel. Would you think you're still successful in brand building on Instagram and Facebook? Like, I think attribution matters, right? So where we're getting our community members matters, especially when we have multiple. The school has attribution metrics, so you know where they're coming from. So that's an important thing too, is maybe we shouldn't think about this too much. I always like to put my best foot forward, like my best hypothesis forward based on the information that I have. I think that's important because that's how real learning happens. It's based on my best ideas that I have right now. I'm totally willing to be proven wrong if that's not the case, but I think let's do it. So 25 new members into the school community from a combined Facebook and Instagram. Do you want to do like 12 and 12? Do you want to do 20 and 10? Do you want to do 10 and 10 and have 20 members? Kind of see where we're at. I think one of the highlights, or one of the things that I would emphasize about what I said earlier, is taking action is the most important thing. Because if we spend a consistent 12 months, like an entire year doing this, and wherever we arrive at building a brand, we will be completely different people with so much more knowledge that we would eventually be able to go back to this video, look at it, and just probably die laughing, like at the amount that we didn't know versus all the knowledge we obtained from doing. And so for me, it's important to think about it, but especially as an overthinker, only to a certain level, because the quicker I do and the more I do, the more I learn. So I wouldn't spend too much time thinking about it. I would pick a number knowing that whatever number you pick, I can guarantee you right now, we're not setting up the best system here. We're not.
Sure.
We're wrong, with whatever you pick.
I like that.
Okay. And hopefully we are, so that we learn something.
So bear with me as I just sign this one out.
Of course.
I originally put the proof down as 25 organic members in everwiseschool.com. I'm still going to stay to this. However, I want to change the number to a 30, but I want to do a split right down the middle. 15 coming from YouTube, 15 coming from Facebook and Instagram. I'm a competitive individual at my heart. As Kosta is taking up the YouTube side, it creates a bit of a fun game for us to see who can achieve that number first. How's that?
Beautiful.
Do I have to add anything else? Small week, or do we want to do the 4 checks, or just hit enter?
Hit enter. It'll tell you if there's something missing.
15 from YouTube, 15 from YouTube and Instagram, each active 2 to 3 times a week for 4 straight weeks. Cost on YouTube, you on Facebook and Instagram. Still no date. November the 1st. We said correct?
Yep.
1st, 2026. And a proof again is just, it's a measurement. It's something that you need to be able to set in line in the sand, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely think a little bit differently than you. This is your built to know session, but the one thing that I noticed when I'm like doing YouTube, I'm comparing YouTube against YouTube, like apples to apples, because it could be like completely unfair, right? Like maybe YouTube just in general drives more to school, and you'll never beat me. And I'm sitting here going like, yeah, in your face, Justin. better than you. Or you really want to base it on the best possible information to see if you are improving, you know? So yeah, that's how I have my built to know setup basically, is to like reanalyze YouTube and kind of have a self feedback loop that I'm definitely getting better based on how I used to be. That's the best indicator for me that I've learned something and I'm growing.
That's a great point, and it's something we talk about in our daily life. I don't know how many times we've actually mentioned that. Progress over perfection is something that we definitely preach, that you can only measure yourself against yourself. And in the case of what I just put, I mean, I am a competitive individual from the sports background. It's always been a part of me, but I'm not so competitive that I measure my success based off of wins and failures. No such thing as a failure. We talk about that too, right? Failure is a poor choice of the word. It's got a lot of negative connotation to it, and we're trying to shift our mentality into, rather than saying failure, we want to say something like catch, because even in failure, there are.
It's funny. I guess I would sum it up by saying it is another way that I can just say, this is going to amplify us, like how good we are as humans, how far along we are in our spiritual journey, battling our own ego, trying to discover the truth. That's what it's going to give you. So somebody that's not in a good place and doesn't understand how to learn on their own, or isn't a good autodidact, or isn't self-reflective, can use a tool like an AI tool and just get that back in the reflection. There's no quick fixes. We talk about this all the time. There's no like, I'm going to use AI and I'm going to learn how to build a brand in 2 months. And in 4 months, I'm going to be sipping mojitos on the beach. It's not how it actually works, right? Maybe you can bring this home here because we are a little bit short on time, by just saying action plan in the chat and seeing if it'll give us an action plan. I didn't read the whole message, full disclosure, but it says here,
going forward, say things like learn this, scan this, action plan. So we're going to type in action plan.
So now it's taking the two mentors, taking the information that it learned from YouTube videos and books, and it's just going to come up with an action plan, since we don't know exactly where to start. And these people have done it. It's going to filter all their information down. It's going to meld it with what we've said we want to achieve and come up with an action plan. Is it going to be a perfect action plan, Justin?
Not.
But that's where the learning happens.
Mm-hmm. Again, I think it's also just, we talk about this. There's so many of us that don't know that first step. And here's your first step.
I've been doing this for probably about 6 months on my own. It's designed kind of around how I use it to learn. And the funniest thing for me is just, I didn't realize us doing this together would have the memories of me popping up where I'm talking about it being a mirror a lot. Me coming to a place where I didn't like the reflection that I saw. I have huge motivators now to kind of grow and become the person that I want to fulfill some potential maybe that I haven't already. And it ended up becoming very clear to me, as long as I was willing to put my guard down, my ego down, and look in the mirror that it was giving me, where I can learn. And you kind of have to dig deep and uncover some things, because the outputs I was getting wasn't what I wanted. And that's where the mirror actually lies, when you're like, how do I get the outputs that I actually want from AI? And it's definitely from the inputs you put in. Look at that. It's built an action plan for you. Facebook and Instagram, everwiseschool.com. That's not our school community.
He's messing it up, man.
I would correct that. Yeah. So yeah, let's wrap this up here. Back to the open question. The plan has 24 items. And then the suggested thing is start at item number 1. Look in the box, the text box. That's a great idea. Don't even know what the 24 items
Should
are.
we click on the action plan to read it?
You can click on it. There it is.
There we go.
This is maybe not the time to mention it, but what's really cool is you can take that and tell Claude in Claude Code right now, hey, make that an artifact. And you can access it from your phone on your Claude app. You can say, make it an artifact that anybody can see. Make it a public artifact. And then I'd be able to view it if Justin sent me the link. So it's all shareable. I will mention this. I am not a technical guy, right? I haven't had a career in anything technical whatsoever. And this is all stuff that I've learned leveraging AI to learn AI. So I've used these systems to learn about AI up to and including being able to build this build to know system, tons and tons of automations for myself, for other businesses. It's interesting that I've come this far along self-learning by actually using AI to learn. So a little bit meta, but I'm using AI to learn AI. So if you're interested, you could do that as well.
Where can they learn more?
In the Everwise community, of course, Justin. The Everwise school community linked below. And we're in there every day interacting. Would love to have you if you're like-minded, you're a self-learner, you're very interested in AI. You don't necessarily need to know anything about AI to start. And you know our philosophy about doing. Just jump in there, be willing to be a beginner. We don't view any view any mistakes as failures. We just view them as the process of discovery, discovering what you want to learn.
Yeah.
And if you want to be around like-minded people, I'd join that community and interact with us every day.
Yeah. Join us. It's absolutely free to build too. We also have 2 sessions that we also run. We have a weekly kind of problems that people are facing out there in the world. And we also have another one where it's how we're using AI to actively learn, where you can learn more about this stuff on how Kosta is actively using AI to develop his skills, how I'm using AI to develop our skills too. And both are accessible on the YouTube channel.
Awesome. And I did want to say thank you, Justin. This was a really cool session, and I'm very interested to pick it up where we left off next time.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Kosta.